Welcome back for another English lesson on our space descriptions. Now our lesson focus is to write a descriptive letter about a space adventure, and we're going to include some of the facts that we have learnt last week. So our learning objective for the whole week is to write a descriptive and factual letter. And to do this, we're going to have to use adjectives to describe space. We will also be looking at using the facts that we have learnt, and we'll even be using finger spaces, capital letters and full stops. Now, as always, let's just quickly pause the video and remind ourselves. Now we're just going to quickly recap on what an adjective is. So our task this week is to write our letter. Now today we're just going to write the beginning part, but here I've just included a bit of a checklist that we need to remember throughout the whole week. So we need to remember to include adjectives. We need to remember our facts about space. We need to remember our capital letters, our finger spaces, and our full stop. So there's quite a lot there to remember, as well as remembering to use our phonics to spell all the words. Now just over here I've put the picture to help us remember all those things, so our capital letters, finger spaces, and full stops. Now today you're just writing the opening part of your letter, and here I've had a quick go at writing mine. So the first part of the letter, I have told you who I'm writing to. So I've added in our red word to, and I've chosen to write to my friend Rachel. So I've written to Rachel. Then here at the end you can see a funny looking bit of punctuation, and this is called a comma. And a comma is just like a full stop, but you have to add a little tail onto it. Then once I've chosen who I'm writing to, I am then starting my letter. So I've started it by saying, today I went on a trip to space. So I've told Rachel where I have gone. I then go to say, I went in my huge rocket with little grey rabbit. So I've told Rachel who I went with, and I've even added in some description because I've added in the word huge and little and grey. The next part, which is highlighted red, it says, we blasted off through the fluffy clouds and reached the dark, sparkly sky. So this is a bit of an opening sentence about what it looked like while I was travelling there. So again, I've added in as many adjectives as I can to describe the sky. Now here I've just put a list of things to help you remember what to write. So for the opening of your letter, the first thing you need to do is write who you are writing to. So I put to Rachel, but you might want to put someone else. Then you need to leave a line and start your letter. So the first thing you need to write is where did you go? You then need to write if you went with anyone. So remember, I went with Little Grey Rabbit, but maybe you went with someone else, or maybe you just went on your own. Then you need to tell us how did you get there. So did you go in a rocket, or did you go in a bed rocket, just like our story Back to Earth with a Bump? And then the last sentence you're going to write today is you're going to tell us what it looked like whilst you were travelling up to space. And this is where you can add in lots of good describing words, so your adjectives, to really tell us what it looked like. We'll just reflect on our learning from today. So we have started writing our descriptive and factual letter. Now the first part of this letter, we're just looking at mainly using adjectives to describe space. Tomorrow we'll be looking at using the facts that we've learnt and adding them into our letter. And today and for the rest of the week, we are continuing to look at using finger spaces, capital letters and full stops.